How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Brian, and today we've got quite a packed agenda. Firstly, this t-shirt, absolutely banging. Jack and Victor doing the slosh. Yes sir, I can boogie. Secondly, I am not Irish, as many of you think I am. I'm from Greenock. I know it's a kip, but that's where I'm from. Can I help it? I do love Guinness, but more importantly, Tennents is my favourite drink, and you're going to see why. If you haven't heard, there's going to be a new Tennents advert for the Euros, and yours truly is in the advert. Let's check it out.
Just for everything, you know. Oh, God.
That was me going schizo when David Marshall saved the penalty, just like basically the entire country of Scotland. You all know what that's like. It was the best feeling of 2020, hands down. I did have a kid though in 2020. One of the best feelings of 2020, having a kid and Scotland qualifying for the Euros. But one of the main things we're going to get into today's video is I'm going to be showing you my Euro fantasy team. We're going to be going through that in a little bit of detail, not too much, because mainly I'm going to be doing my predictions video for the Euros first game bracket of all weekday ones. So without any further ado, let's jump over and see what I've got selected for the Euro brackets of match day 1 games. Let's go. Okay, so here we are with the match day 1 fixtures, kicking off with Turkey versus Italy. I will be doing a video for match day 2, 3 and so on all throughout the Euros, so make sure to hit that subscribe button down below to get involved, because I want to know what you guys got in all of this. Also, I will be doing a fantasy league for all you guys to come and get involved in, and the winner of the whole fantasy league is going to get themselves a £30 Amazon voucher to come along and get involved. So the link for that will also be down in the description down below. So let's get into the predictions, starting off with Turkey versus Italy. I think Turkey is going to be a bit of a dark horse in this, because I think they're probably going to get out of their group, and they've got quite an easy route to at least get to the semi-finals. However, their first match is against Italy, which will be one of the tougher matches, and I think the fact that Donnarumma is like 22 years old, he's got the reflexes of a cat, but he's also got like 6 years experience. They're not going to get that many past him. Although Çalhanoğlu is a bit of a free kick specialist, I'm still going to give this one to Immobile, because I think he's going to score at least 2 goals for Italy. I think that's going to be the best way to go, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Italy. Next up, the first game on Saturday, we have Wales versus Switzerland. I think this is going to be a bit of a boring one, because in the last Euros, Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey were on absolute fire, but with Juventus not playing much of Ramsey and Gareth Bale being at Spurs and they only hit the Conference League, yeah, he did quite a lot for them as he come up to the final weeks, but I don't think he's got what it takes to carry anymore, because at the time he was literally carrying Spurs and Real Madrid. They won a Champions League final the year after that. I think this is going to go to Switzerland, but it's only going to be a 1-0 win. Next up, we got Denmark versus Finland, 2 of the 3 Scandinavian countries coming up against each other. I do think this is going to be a commanding victory for Denmark, and I'm going to put them down for a 2-0 win. And next up, we have a Belgium versus Russia. We have a Romelu Lukaku, who's fallen only second best to Cristiano Ronaldo for the Serie A top goal scorer, and Russia's age now is ridiculous. They've got to literally be looking at pensioners now playing for their team. I think this is going to be a 4-0 win to Belgium. And we now have a repeat of the World Cup semi-final in England versus Croatia. Boo. Boo. I'm going to give this a 2-1 win to Croatia. Next in line, we have Austria versus North Macedonia. North Macedonia famously been one of the lowest ranked teams in the whole of the Euros history by qualifying through the UEFA Nations League, much like Scotland, who were in a higher level. Although Austria have just had a 2-2 draw with Scotland, I do think this is going to be an absolute destruction by Austria, and I'm going to put them down for 4-1. And next up, we have Holland, aka Netherlands, versus Ukraine. Obviously, Holland's without their main man in Virgil van Dijk, but Ukraine does have their absolute child prodigy in Zinchenko, who's been absolutely unreal for Man City. I do know that Holland probably didn't play their best football last week against Scotland in the friendly match, as it was just a friendly, both teams just warming up for the tournament, but I do think this is still going to be a slight win by Netherlands. It might be a lot closer than we expect. It might even be a draw, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win Netherlands. Next up, we have the homeboys in Scotland versus Czech Republic. We do know that we have beaten them twice in the last year in the UEFA Nations League, but I don't think that is going to go down too easy, and we're not going to be getting an absolute clean slate as we do. I am expecting Scotland to win, as we do have the home crowd at Hampden, and we all know that 10,000 Scottish fans is like 100,000 people no matter where you are in the world. The Tartan Army will not let you down, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win Scotland at home at Hampden versus Czech Republic. Republic. Next up, we have Poland versus Slovakia. Yes, we do know that Lewandowski is arguably the best striker in the world, scoring 41 goals last season, but somehow didn't win Player of the Season, which blows my mind. I know Eric Haaland is an unbelievable player, but Lewandowski scored 41 goals and broke a record that was set by Gerard Muller decades ago, before I was even born. How he didn't get Player of the Season is beyond me. But whatever, we're going off topic. I know there's been a bit of history between Poland and Slovakia, and I think this as one might be one the bookies doesn't understand. And I'm actually going to put this down for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we have Spain versus Sweden. This is a really difficult one to predict because you don't know what type of Spain you're going to get. Are you going to get the type of Spain that will go out and score 5 goals? Or are you going to get the Spain that will literally concede 1 and then do nothing about it? You don't know what they've got. And you can't rule out Sweden yet. They made the quarterfinals of the World Cup. They know what they're doing. They've got a lot of boost about them. So I think this one actually could be another draw. And actually might go for 0-0 draw for Spain because you just don't know what Spain you're going to get. And I think they've not settled well. I hope I'm wrong because I actually have a good lot of Spanish friends and they actually do well. But I just don't see Spain being the powerhouse they were 10 years ago. And finally, we're on to the group of death, and things start off with Hungary versus Portugal. Now, you don't think any team will get 0 points in the whole tournament, but when you look at Hungary, you think, that's a shame. That's just sad. And I hope I'm wrong. I would like to see every team at least get some points on the board. But when you look at the current holders of the World Cup, the current holders of the Euros, and the previous World Cup winner, the last major trophies that all European teams could take a part in is literally in this group. How this was allowed, I don't know. But I don't see them getting any points. Portugal have actually gotten better instead of worse over the past couple of years, as well as Ronaldo getting older, but the whole Portuguese side is getting better. I think this is going to be like a 3-0 win, Portugal. And finally, what a game we have on Tuesday evening with France versus Germany, the current World Cup holders versus the previous World Cup holders. This game, on paper, it's going to be great, but it could run out to be one of them boring matches that neither team wants to lose and would be happy to get a point on the board because you don't really know where you're going to finish in this group. As well as Portugal, France and Germany, any of these teams could go on to win it, but one of these teams has got to finish third, and one of these teams might not even get the points they need because if there's draws in certain areas, one of these teams could bomb out dramatically, and that's going to be great for everyone else, but you still would expect any team to go on and win this. Personally, I still think France is going to win the whole thing because they've just gotten better. Yeah, Griezmann isn't doing as well, but Mbappe's literally just leagues above him now. He's one of the best players in the world without a shadow of a doubt. Germany have improved a wee bit. Not dramatically, just a wee bit. I think this is going to be a 2-1 win France. So that is all my predictions here. We have a 2-1 victory to Italy, a 1-0 win to Switzerland, a 2-0 win to Denmark, 4-0 to Belgium against Russia, 2-1 win England versus Croatia to Croatia, a 4-1 win versus Austria and North Macedonia going to Austria, 2-1 win to Netherlands versus Ukraine, 2-1 win Scotland versus Czech Republic, a 1-1 draw between Poland and Slovakia, 0-0 Spain versus Sweden, 3-0 win Portugal, and a 2-1 win France. If you guys have any discrepancies about these, I would love to hear them in the comments down below, and I will be doing another video for each of these in every single week, so please make sure to hit that subscribe button. But now the time you're all waiting for, the Fantasy League where you guys can win yourself an Amazon voucher. I'm going to quickly show you the code to my league, and then I'm going to go through my first choice team. So this is the team I'm going with. As you can see, it is very attack heavy with Mbappe, Lukaku and Immobile right up the top. I do think John McGinn is going to be one of them players that could come out of the Euros and be moving from Villa to one of the major clubs because he has the potential as long as he's played in the right position. Hence why I've made him captain, because I think he is going to get a goal. And one of the hardest things to do in these fantasy footballers is always make sure you get a captain that picks a goal. And I think he is going to get a goal against Czech Republic. Joshua Kimmich is a hand down easy shout for Germany. You got Ruben Neves for Portugal. I think he's just going to get quite a lot of game time because he's playing against Hungary. David Alaba, he's up against North Macedonia and he plays in midfield role for them, so I expect him to get a lot of points as well as probably keeping a good clean sheet, which the midfielders do get a point for. Ruben Diaz, they're not going to concede against Hungary. I would absolutely be stunned if they did. Rafael Varane, he's one of the best defenders in the world. My boy Kieran Tierney, love you with all my heart, man. Hope you're doing well. If you ever see me, give me a message. Love you, dude. I think he's going to be fantastic through the tournament as a whole, and he's got a lot of assists in his locker, as well as probably getting an amazing cross in, getting them assists, getting them free kicks, as well as getting the through balls and getting them bonus points, most importantly. As I mentioned in around, Donnarumma for Italy. He was quite cheap, and I thought he was an absolute bargain, because I think Italy is in a very good group, but they might keep some clean sheets, and them goalkeepers getting them are fantastic. He also has a ridiculously good penalty save record, and that's one of the best things you can have for these sort of tournaments, a keeper that can save penalties. Running out the bench, I've got Stekelenburg. I'm not expecting him to get much game time, but it really depends who Holland's going to be playing. I think Ukraine's one of the tougher teams in their group, but I might swap them round, maybe here or there. But I think Stekelenburg might get a couple of minutes, and he might even progress forward. So when you do have to make your transfers later on, I want to make sure that I have to make the least amount as possible. Then we have Kjaer for Denmark. I think he was just an easy choice. He was cheap, and he's going to get minutes. Then we have our boy that I mentioned earlier on, Zinchenko. Again, Ukraine, he's going to get a lot of goals, but I don't think he's going to get goals in the first match against Holland. And our boy Billy Gilmore is going to roll out the bench. I will be making a sub on for him whenever it gets to a specific match, but I don't know if he's going to be playing the first game. I do expect Scotland to get out of their group. That's why I'm banking on 3 Scottish players, as well as I'm biased to Scottish people, if you didn't know. But I think he's going to be getting a couple of game time. And Steve Clark came out and said he's going to be fine, so we're all happy about that, as it was a bit of a horrific challenge the other day against Luxembourg. So that's going to be all for today's video, guys. I will be leaving a link down below so you guys can come and get involved. There is going to be a chance for you guys to win that £30 Amazon voucher if you do win the whole league. Although I'm going to try and win it myself, don't get me wrong, because I don't want to give out free stuff. But if one of you guys beat me, there you go. So you need to make sure you're in the league. It's going to be in the description down below. Contact details will work out later date. That's all for today. Come on, the Scotland. We'll see you when we're there. Come on.